Out of that, many people have a problem with the left hand remembering what shape to land on. So I thought I'd give you a little exercise to do. With your eyes closed, you're going to do it in the key of C, F, G, E flat and B flat. I'll demonstrate it in a few. And I'm going to show you how you can do it in the first inversion as well. And it will make sense once we get to the end of the video. So the idea is you play your 2 chord. We're in the key of C first. So D minor 7. And you need to do this with your eyes closed, and you will get used to these positions. The top 2 notes move down, not chromatically, but to the next 2 notes of the major scale that you're in, of the key you're in, so that's C. That's going to give you the second inversion. Don't worry too much about the inversions, but it's going to give you the second inversion of G7. 1, 3, 5, 7. Just because those top 2 notes moved down. And then the next shape is at the top, the bottom 2 notes drop down as well. That gives you the root position of the 1 chord. So if you just look at this, like that. That's the pattern which applies in all the other keys, not just the key of C, but all the other keys. So the right hand can join in with that. Or you can just play around with the major scale. It just sounds quite nice. Just play anything in the major scale. Not always starting on the root, of course. Start on different notes. Start on maybe a G this time. Start on the C this time. End on the major 7, touch the 9, 3, 5. Try to avoid playing the root all the time of the key that you're in. So that's a nice thing to do. Let me just demonstrate that in the key of F, for example. So the 2 is G minor 7. You're going to move down the top 2 notes to the C7 position, but in other words, the next notes in the major scale of the key you're in, which is F. So don't play a C sharp or an E or anything like that. You want the E, yes, but not with the C sharp. And then the bottom 2 notes move down, F and A. And again, you play anything on the right hand or do the chords together. It's quite nice. Or you just play the major scale. So I'm getting carried away by playing passing tones. Don't do that yet. So that sounds quite nice. And you can do that in all the keys. Now, I wanted to show you an inversion version of this, where you don't play it from the 2 chord. I'll demonstrate the key of C, and then I'll demonstrate next in the key of E flat. So instead of playing D minor 7, you're going to start the chord on the first inversion, which is F, which will naturally make you want to play the D on top. Don't do that. We're going to take it a bit further. You put the E on top. Still in the key of C. So instead of playing D minor 7, what you're basically doing is putting the 9 on top and removing the root. So it looks like F major 7, but it isn't, because we're in the key of D. This is a minor. Here's the 5, here's the dominant 7, here's the 9. So don't get, it might look like F, the 4th major 7, but it's not. It's D minor 9, and it would be that in all the other keys. So for example, in the key of E flat, we will play the 2, which is F minor 7, and put the 9 on top, G. If we remove the F, it looks like A flat major 7, which A flat is the 4th of E flat. Don't get confused. You're just playing the minor 9 without the root. But this same pattern works. That's why I'm showing it to you. So in the key of C, remove the D, and you're going to do exactly the same thing. And it's going to sound a bit different, but if you put the D in the bass, and the G in the bass, and the C in the bass, there's 2, 5, 1 in the bass, it sounds more in key. But this chord makes it sound a bit more advanced, and you can still improvise around the key of C, or whatever the master key is. So look, D minor 7, but with a 9, D minor 9. Top 2 notes come down as well, again. Now that's still giving you a G chord. It just happens to have a 9 in it here. So it's just like a 9, a way of playing it with a 9 in it. And then you drop down the lower 2 notes, which looks like E minor 7, but it's not. It's C, major 7, here's a 3rd, 5, 7, here's a 9 on top. So by doing it all in the first inversion, you're getting a 9 in each chord, which is nice. D minor 9, G 9, C major 9. Major 7 gives you the major word, and the 9, of course, is the D, the 9. So that sounds quite nice. Within its own key, you might just call it F major 7, so a 4 chord, G7, the 5 chord, and then E minor 7, the 3 chord. But that's only if the bass goes, which is not the same as, It's a different sound completely. So don't get mixed up by those. But you can label them differently if you play the bass differently. And that's the idea. I'm just going to do that in different keys. What key haven't I demonstrated yet? The key of maybe B flat. So that's the... have I done B flat? Anyway, B flat. So the 2 is the C minor 7. Let's remove the C and put the 9 on top we'll move the E flat. Remove the C and put the D on top, which gives us what looks like E flat major 7, but it isn't. And we play 2. We drop the next 2 notes down. So we're going to go to the 5 chord in B flat, which is F. So that's going to give us an A and a C, which is the 9, which is quite nice. And then we go to D and F, which looks like D minor 7, but it's not. It's the B flat. So it might take a bit of time for you to think about this, but hopefully it's not too hard. But going back to the beginning, you just want to play your 2, 5, 1, and only the top 2 notes, and then the bottom 2 notes move. Key of G we haven't done yet, so that's A minor 7, D7, top 2 notes come down, to G major 7, bottom 2 notes go down. Now, just to finish, what you can do, I'll go back to C again, is if you move the top 2 notes down, and then the bottom 2 notes down, you can move again the next top 2 notes down, and that actually gives you the 2, 5, 1, 4 chord progression, giving you F major 7, second inversion, F, A, C, E. So in the key of F, for example, we do our 2, 5, 1, and then we're going up a 4th, we'll come down to B flat and D here, which gives you B flat major 7. And that, of course, is the 2, 5, 1 up a 4th, meaning up a 4th, not up a 4th, but up a 4th, chord progression, which is everywhere in jazz. So that's definitely a chord progression that you'll do well to master, to play around in. With the major scale, you can improvise it a bit more advanced if you want to, but something you can do with your eyes closed, just to get used to moving 2 top notes in that little pattern. Just keep going over it. You know where you are, you know what chord you're playing, up a 4th. Something nice to do, get your left hand on autopilot to enable you to just play around in the right hand how you want. You can start to create some really nice, pretty melodies in that way. So I hope that has been of use to you. I'd like to make another video where I give you a couple of other chord progressions that you can just get into your left hand. Not necessarily, it's not a repertoire, but you'll find these chord progressions in repertoire. So it's quite nice to get your hands used to playing them. Hopefully that's been of use to you. As always, likes, comments, subscriptions are always welcome. Have a look at my video management website, Waterpianism syllabus, perhaps Patreon, and all my playlists. And I'll see you in the next video. All the best, and bye for now.